Mr. McDonald had his youngest baby Mao on his shoulder and was playing tag with his other children. His two little girls were holding on to his coat pocket and hanging from his arms. This was in contrast with Kezia, who was scared to even go near her father, let alone touch him. On top of this, the children seemed to have a lot of freedom to do whatever they wanted to do with their father. For example, the two little boys turned a hose on him with water gushing around them. They ran around the flower beds trying to catch each other, shaking with laughter. Their father was also laughing all the time with them, contrary to Kezia's father, who never smiled at her. Kezia realized that day that all fathers were not the same. There were fathers who were friendly with their children. Suddenly, Kezia's mother fell ill one day and her grandmother had to take her to the hospital. So Kezia was left all alone in the house with her cook Alice. She was usually happy in her own company as long as her father was not around. But as the day came to an end, she gets scared to be alone. As Alice puts her to bed, Kezia is frightened to be all alone as she is not used to it. Kezia is all alone in the house at night time, with her cook Alice and her father. Being a little girl, she is scared of being alone in the night. She usually gets nightmares. A nightmare is a nasty dream which is frightening. She says that she would often have nightmares and it was Grandma who would take care of her. She would take Kezia to bed and stay with her until she sleeps. Kezia tells Alice that she finds it difficult to stay inside a dark room. Darkness can be scary to even adults as one cannot see what is happening around them. Although Kezia tried sleeping, the same old nightmare came back to her. In it, she saw a butcher with a knife and rope approaching her, bearing an evil smile. She was so scared that she could only stand up and cry out. She calls out for her grandma as she is the only one who could comfort her. But instead, she sees her father standing by her bedside holding a candle. He had woken up hearing the noise and come to see what it was all about. He questions her as to what had happened. When he questions her about what was wrong, she tells him that she saw a butcher with a rope and knife. She keeps stuttering even now. She could only utter words and not form a sentence out of fear. Her father understands the situation and blows out the candle to carry her down the passage to his room. It was a big room with a newspaper on the bed. He throws the newspaper away to put her in the bed. He carefully tucks her up in the bed. He lies down beside her, thereby protecting her. Kezia lay there feeling his warmth and trying to get over the butcher's smile out of her mind. She rested her head on his arms and held on to his shirt tightly. When she lay there, the darkness did not matter as she had the support of her father. He also asks her to put her feet close up to him so that they get really warm. His fatherly love is expressed when he does so. Her father, who was already tired, falls asleep before Kezia. As she lay there and looked at him, a funny feeling creeps in. She realizes that her father is not a bad person after all. He was just big in physical stature but had a warm heart. He in fact had no one to look after him. He was the breadwinner and had to work really hard for the betterment of the family. His body was hard compared to Grandma's as it had stiffened up due to hard work. She realizes that, unlike her neighbor McDonald, her father was too tired to play with her after work. She had torn away all the papers related to his work, which might have affected his professional front. She stirs in the bed, which woke her father. He asks her what the matter was, to which she answers that she could hear his heartbeat. Since she had put her head close to his heart, she says that he has got a big heart, which indirectly states that he is indeed a kind-hearted person.